And one of my friends, Mike Edwards, finished 25th. I got to give Mike a nice plug because he's one of my guys.
He's saving it all for the U.S. Open in Edmond, Oklahoma.
Okay. Now, this man was second last week on our telecast, fourth the week prior. And it's a 3-6 for the young 25-year-old from Freehold, New Jersey.
Pretty good shot. It's been 45 minutes since he's thrown a practice shot on a championship pair. We have a little oil carry down, as we call it, as each player rolls, especially with another left-hander in the field, Jess Stayrook. Keep moving that oil, as we call it, just a little farther down the lane. Parker's ball won't break quite as much as expected in the early frames.
All right, covering the 3-6 very handily. The 8th TV appearance for both professionals. Well, he adds to his total of 8 strikes at his victory over Stayrook, Ballard Jr. And for his fans in the Dallas area, they'll have to stay up till 12:30 a.m. to see our telecast, Nelson.
Well, I guess they're not seeing it live out there, but a little bit of Pro Bowlers Tour, 90 minutes at that time, is definitely worth the time. I'm sure Johnny Carson will avoid that time slot so he doesn't get outrated. Now, Del Ballard, wide, leaves the 2-8 spare, the first really difficult double wood spare we've had today.
How do you avoid chopping that sleeper or the front pin?
What simply he has to do is get the ball right in the solid zone just to the right of the 2-pin and have the ball carry back into the 8-pin. If you get the 2-pin too light on the right or too far on the left, you will leave the 8.
Strike and spare for Del Ballard Jr. Parker Bohn, 5'10", one of the slim ones at 144 pounds. Spare working.
As forecasted, Chris, that he would be light the first couple of frames, and as we said earlier in the championship round, the pair for left-handers is almost identically the same, 59 hooking exactly as much as 60, so it should be a slight advantage that the left-handers have if they get zeroed in. Parker Bohn will make this spare and then be around the pocket on this next shot.
This is our semifinal match. The winner will go on to face Bob Benoit, our tournament leader. He wants a re-rag now, motioning over to Harry Golden, our tournament director for all these many years, who's seated down there with Kevin Shippey and Mike Sands and Frank Esposito.
Important for Parker Bohn to make the correct move to get his ball in the 1-2 pocket. He's been light on both lanes. It's important that this ball go near the pocket.
Come on. Still isn't getting the breaks that he wants.
Made a nice move, could have carried the 7-pin, and obviously this player can throw a lot of strikes when he gets zeroed in. Watch the action of the ball as it drives through the 1-2 pocket, but the 4-pin just lies down in the channel. Doesn't quite take out the 7. Parker, a nice straight hard shot on the spare.
Parker's last PBA national win was in Seattle in '87, but last November in a regional event he won at the Showboat in Atlantic City. It will be at the end of February, first part of March. Ballard now, spare working, leading by 2 pins. High hit, leaving the 3-6, 9, 10.
Ballard looking down at the approach like he slipped a little bit and obviously never sent the ball quite far enough to the right and has left him a very difficult spare, the 3-6, 9, 10. Watch him slip on the approach a little bit. Doesn't get the footwork that he likes, has to plant that right foot to keep from fouling. And now to maintain just a 2-pin deficit, he must convert this spare.
Consistency by the professionals.
Now you may wonder what happens. We saw strikes in the first game, strikes in the second game. Ballard looked like he was going to get going and just really throw a lot of strikes. But this pair, 59-60, historically at the Showboat, has what we call oil carry down. I talked about it on the left side. We see it on the right. When the player gives it enough room, it doesn't come back. When he starts it up towards the pocket, it hooks a little bit high. They must make an adjustment to get back in the pocket.
Del Ballard with a spare working gives up a strike in the 4th frame in this very close match. Ballard trailing by only 2. We're in Las Vegas. We'll return. Eastern, the Atlantic Coast Conference versus the Big Ten. Illinois battling for the #1 spot after Duke lost to North Carolina this week. Pete Tontus, newly elected member of the Hall of Fame.
And he has hosted a tournament on ABC television at his bowling center in Tucson, Arizona. Also, along with Pete into the Hall of Fame this year is one of my good friends, George Pappas. Congratulations to both players. Now, Parker Bohn up in the 4th frame has failed to strike so far in the match, but he leads by 2.
Uh-oh. You heard him say uh-oh as he has a RF microphone on. And this tough little shot coming up, Bo. How should he play it?
The 2-7 baby split, Chris. He must get the ball over here to the left of the 2-pin, let the ball deflect into the 7. And for a professional bowler, he must make this at least 50% of the time to be competitive out here.
And there is disaster for the man who crossed this pair twice during the week, averaging 252. Earlier, we asked what reaction he's gotten from the people in the area after being on TV twice.
Right now, they're all excited. You know, every week it seems that I end up being in the top 5 right now, and I hope it keeps going that way. But everybody's really thrilled for me, and they just want me to go out and win finally, hopefully this week.
And, of course, he's hoping now to rebound after that open frame that you see there in the 4th. And Ballard with that strike up. Finally. Average 225 for the week, 56 games. Gets his first strike in 5 frames.
The power of Parker Bohn comes in the 1-2 pocket, drives that 5 over into the 6-10 area, gets his first strike of the match, but he's left the door wide open for Del Ballard. 5th frame.
Del Ballard now with a 21-pin lead, and all Parker can do is sit there, and Ballard moves over to the left lane, and another strike will put it up to 31 pins.
Sometimes we talk about the expense of bowling on the Professional Bowlers Tour. $20,000 to $25,000 a year it takes to get out here. Del Ballard has a sponsor, and it's his parents, Del Sr. and his mom, Shirley Ray, from the Dallas, Texas area. I'm sure they're proud of this young man.